for everybody's favorite guessing game, What's My Line? Now, let's all play What's My Line?
And now we come to the special feature of our program, the appearance of our mystery celebrity, for which, as I'm sure you all know as well as I do, the panel is blindfolded. Are the blindfolds all in place, panel?
Yes.
Yes, John.
Good. Will you enter mystery challenger and sign in, please?
First, the popular columnist whose voice of Broadway appears in papers from coast to coast, Miss Dorothy Kilgallen.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
All you need in show business is one good break. Hello? Hello, Dorothy? Hello, Dorothy? Dorothy,
Yes?
stop the presses, tear out the front page. Have I got a story for you?
Is it bigger than a bread box?
Dorothy, when? What do you mean bigger? It's bigger than both of us. Look, you know who this is, don't you?
Do you work for a profit-making organization?
I am a profit-making organization. This is Milton Berle.
Oh, there's a product involved.
Product?
Corn.
Dorothy, this is serious. This is serious. I broke my leg.
Do you wear it above the waist or below the waist?
I wear it below the garter belt. Dorothy, will you please stop what's maligning me? I broke my leg while I was rehearsing my show. Isn't that some story, huh?
Well, of course it is, Milton. I thought you were kidding.
I'm not kidding at all.
If it's serious, I'll print it. What hospital are you in?
What did you say? What?
I said, what hospital are you in?
The hospital.
Huh?
She wants to know what hospital I'm in.
Bellevue. Bellevue.
I'm at the Bellevue Hospital.
Bellevue. Okay, Milton, I'll be right down.
Yeah, just wait a minute.
Hey, Milton, this is a very important story. Why don't you talk to Jack O'Brien, our television editor, and we'll both come down to see you. I'll connect you with him. Just a minute. Operator.
She fell for it. She
did?
fell for the whole thing.
For the whole thing.
She's going to connect me with Jack O'Brien.
Good.
They're coming down to see me.
Right.
Hi, darling.
Hi, sweetie. Well, judging from that pile of notes, it looks as though you have some exciting things to talk about today.
Indeed, I do. And I'm looking forward to sharing them with our listeners. I know you've got lots of fascinating information, too, but first let's hear from a friend of ours.
Now, here you are.
McKelvey will never get me back on the paper. I'm a gentleman now.
Take a look at this. Mr. Ernest Himes, attorney at law. I handle the Lampier interest, so if you don't want to get in trouble, Murphy, you better get out of my way.
Okay, but don't let
Hey,
me
what
catch
is
you
it?
doing
You want to get
any...
inside, don't you?
Sure.
Hey, wait. It's all right, officer. Captain Royce wants her inside.
Where are
Now,
we
come on.
going?
I'll give you a real story.
Hey,
It's okay, officer. She's with me. Lorraine, this is Miss Mills of the Globe News Service. Here's your story, honey. Miss Lampier, who was wanted by the police, escaped from her apartment tonight and can't be located.
What are you talking about?
And don't worry, we gotta work fast. This is exclusive for you, so you gotta do me a favor. I want to borrow your hat and coat.
I get it. You're taking her out of here.
You're a bright girl.
Here. Take this badge. This'll help.
That's good. This is for you. Now stay a couple of minutes and give us a head start, will you? Look, get this collar up around your neck because you're Jane Mills, sob sister, remember?
And now, let's meet our award-winning What's My Line panel. First, the popular columnist whose voice of Broadway appears in the New York Journal-American and papers coast to coast, and who has just returned from the coronation, Miss Dorothy Kilgallen.
And on my left, brilliant young gentleman whom I'm happy to be sitting next to again tonight, Mr. Steve Allen.
Thank you, Dorothy. Thank you. And before we turn to my left, Dorothy, I'm very sure that the ladies would be very thrilled to get a good look at your gown. It's a bit of an unusual procedure. Why don't you stand up for just a moment? This is Dorothy's actual... It's her actual coronation dress. Is that right, Dorothy?
That's right.
It's made of silver lame cloth, and it has almost, millions and millions of pearls. Anyway, how many thousand of pearls?
14,000.
Wow. And Dorothy's taking off her Fort Knox right after the show, so...
As perhaps you know now, on the life of President Kennedy. He was wounded in an automobile driving from Dallas Airport into downtown Dallas, along with Governor Connolly of Texas. They've been taken to Parkland Hospital there, where their condition is as yet unknown. From Dallas, Texas, the flash, apparently official, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, some 38 minutes ago. Vice President Lyndon Johnson has left the hospital in Dallas, but we do not know to where he has proceeded. Presumably, he will be taking the oath of office shortly and become the 36th President of the United States.
Kilgallen.
Could I use your service, Miss Kay?
I think so.
Could Mr. Randall?
Yes?
You're quite sure about him, aren't you?
Reasonably.
Well...
You may be, Miss Kane.
If we had need of your service, would we go to you rather than ringing you up and summoning you?
You would have to take the initiative to utilize the service, yes.
All right. If we took the initiative, would she come to us?
No.
Specifically and in person, no. That's 1 down and 9 to go, Mr. Randall. And good night, Dorothy Kilgallen.
Good night, John. Good night, Tony. Please come again.
I will indeed. Thank you. Good night, Arlene, wherever you are.
Here I am. Good night, Bennett, dear.
Good night. I only like to say one thing about that pretty football writer. She better dig up a field goal kicker for the New York Giants, or it's going to be too bad.
I thought you were going to say something about
Good
a
night,
forward
John.
pass.
Good night, Bennett. Bennett's going to be in Bridgeport this week. Lock the house. And thanks for being with us on What's My Line?
What's My Line is the CBS Television Network production.
Thank you, John, and I just want to say that in the more than 15 Sundays, 15 years of Sundays that we've spent together on this program, we have become not just associates, but a kind of family. And so it is not so much as a co-worker that we miss Dorothy, though certainly she was a game player that was better than almost all the rest of us. It is really as a family that we are saddened by her absence. Good night, Steve.
Good night, Arlene. The fact that we didn't get any of the first three contestants tonight, John, establishes, as Arlene has indicated, that even just purely as a game player, Dorothy is very dearly missed. But of course, that's not a very important consideration. She's missed as a human being. The world knows her as a very brilliant woman, very quick-minded and very intelligent, the writer of a very fine newspaper column. But we all think it's more important that she was also a very fine wife and a very fine mother and a fine human being, and we miss her in those capacities. Good night, Kitty.
Tonight I'm sitting in Dorothy's seat, but no one could ever possibly take her place. Good night, Bennett.
Well, a lot of people knew Dorothy as a very tough game player. Others knew her as a tough newspaper woman. When she went out for a story, nothing could get in her way. But we got to know her as a human being, and a more lovable, softer, loyal person never lived. And we're going to miss her terribly. John?
Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for being with us on What's My Line?